Hey, y'all, listen, happy Thursday, okay? We one day off from Good Friday, and then it's going to be Easter weekend. I'm glad to see y'all in the building. It's Trending Topics Thursday, and oh my goodness, it seems like the rest of March, probably part of April, I don't know how long these Diddy stories are going to carry on. It seems like they're going to carry on for a minute. I feel like it's a whole circus. Diddy impacted so many lives in such a negative way. And now that was not enough. There are people getting caught in the crossfires, and it's the children. Now, every now and then I listen to Gene Dale, but sometimes I just can't because he just rambles a lot. But in his rambling, he's a YouTuber, he on YouTube. I'm sure y'all heard the name. In his rambling, sometimes I'm connecting with things that he say. One thing he said, but I kind of said this last night, is I don't care how old they are, you still going to see them as children. If you were an adult and you was around this kid from diapers all the way up, you're always going to see them as a kid. The children are in the crossfire of this, and it's sad. It's sad. I ping pong back and forth with the young ladies. I really do. They're grown, they're adults, but I bounce back and forth, bounce back and forth, bounce back and forth. And the reason why I bounce back and forth is simply because it's like, how does one find themselves in a situation where they think their worth is tied up into selling their body in some way, shape, or form? Now, I was twisting my mind up, and I kept trying to call people to give me some information, like, tell me, give me more. What do you think about this? If I am a person who someone comes to me and they say, look, hang out with me, be with me, I'm gonna give you a stipend every month to the tune of $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000. And I said, all right, cool. And what I gotta do? And I got to do what I got to do. But we both agree that this is cool. This is what I'm going to do. But somebody want to tell me that, that's considered P. We got to watch our words around here. I'm like, is it really though? I don't know. But I do feel for these ladies. Some of them in some way, shape, or form. So tonight's title of our trending topics, don't forget, hit that like button as you're coming in. It's called Caught in the Crossfire. Caught in the Crossfire. Why? Because we got Quincy. Quincy is in a very peculiar situation, although he is an adult. How many adults out there still, if if your mom and dad are still alive, you still need them, still lean on them? And if they're not, you still think about them. And there's times that cross your mind and you're like, oh, I wish my mom was here. I wish my dad was here. How many of you feel that way, even though you're a grown adult? There's things that happen to this day, and I have to call my mom. I'll call my dad and be like, you can't believe, you won't believe. We never stop needing our parents. You got Quincy Brown is his name. Although he was raised with Diddy, under Diddy, Diddy was like a stepfather to him. I know Quincy has a biological father, but for the most part, Quincy, even out of his own words, said that Diddy was his father figure. So you grow up with your father figure. Your mother's death was not expected. It was unexpected. She's gone. Some of your siblings, Diddy is their dad, their biological dad. So you grew up with this man, you looked up to this man, and now you hear that this man is being accused of doing some hideous things. And in the midst of that, the father, the biological father that you were estranged from, he posts on social media talking about the door is wide open. Do you walk through that door? And then how do your siblings feel? Quincy is caught in the crossfire. And my heart breaks for the kids. All of them. Every last one of them. Then you got this Daphne Joy. And she has a child with 50 Cent. But then she's being accused of being a worker for Diddy. 50 Cent don't care who he troll, I guess including his baby mama. Because she had his seed. And the man stayed trolling. Soon as he heard, he's not thinking about, can I comfort my son? How do I protect my son from all of this? Let me call my baby mother. Let bygones be bygones. Listen, we didn't work out, but I don't want to see her get dragged in the streets because at the end of the day, it's still my baby mother. Can I give a tip to the people out there in the world? When you have a child with somebody, they are 50% you, 50% that other person. If that person is hurting, your child's going to be hurting too. So instead of going high, when the other people are going low, you know who you got with. Was she not an Instagram model when you met her, 50 Cent? Did she not have an OnlyFans page for the whole time she was raising your son, Sire? And now because you hear that she's an alleged S-worker for Diddy, you want to call her all kinds of names and you want to talk about you going to go and get sole custody of your son? It's a mess. Caught in the crossfire. And I feel for her. Now, if she did or didn't do something, she gonna have to pay. But I've been digging and reading and digging and reading this stuff all day, and it's a lot to digest. And part of my digestion is, how do all of these ex-workers end up in such places where they feel the only thing they're worth is to sell their body? We're going to talk about it. And I know y'all threw tomatoes at me, but y'all going to have to throw some more today. Don't worry, I could duck and I could dive. And red goes well with black. So y'all can toss your tomatoes, but I'm not going to lie to y'all. I still feel for Justin and King Combs. And King Combs is Christian Combs. They're one and the same. King Combs is his stage name. They was angry. They was terrified when that raid happened. Now, Homeland Security claims there's no footage of the raid inside because as soon as they went inside, they said they disabled all of the surveillance cameras. That's what they said. The claim was that one was in the shower and the other one wasn't fully dressed, and they were shocked and surprised. They're dealing with a knot now too. They got to digest this. We went through this traumatic experience. My dad was at the airport with our sisters. Now, I don't know if Daddy called them at some point and said, y'all good? I just know what I would have did. I would have went back to see about my kid. And if I would have had to been clinked up on the lawn with my kids, I would have dropped the girls off with somebody safe. I don't need my girls clinked up. But I would have walked up to that mansion and they would have clinked me up with my kids. I would have came in with my lawyer and told them to unclink my kids. But there's no way I would have still got on some airplane. And I don't know what's going on with the two kids I left at that mansion. But that's me when I did it. So we're going to talk about the kids because they're caught in the crossfire. Young Miami, I know. The thing with Young Miami is she was on these streets bragging like she was the girlfriend, getting $300K a month, talking about she liked golden showers. Somebody tell me how old Young Miami is. How old is she? There are rumors pointing at Young Miami might have been involved with getting the girls to Diddy. Listen, let's be clear. I will say this: is it probably a 99.9% chance that she was involved? Absolutely. Any one of those S workers, including probably this Daphne Joy, they was involved some way, somehow. See, the thing is, so little Rodney said himself he had to go get the workers. But little Rodney is saying he was forced to do everything as a grown man. Little Rodney, read the lawsuit. He said, and he had the pictures in the lawsuit. It said Booty Place or whatever that place was called, Booty something. He said, they're going to know that I'm in town. When you go to the club and you put on the bad boys cap, they're going to know that Diddy's in town. And then the workers will come up to you and let you know which one of them want to come and party with us. So allegedly, anybody that worked for Diddy was part of this situation. This thing is a hot mess. And I will say that as an adult, if you're making a decision to be in this mess at some point. Young Miami, she plays stupid games and she may end up with some stupid prizes. Unfortunately, Daphne Joy, she plays stupid games. She may end up with some stupid prizes. See, that's why, let me tell you something right now. I tell y'all all the time, I like my things. I ain't in love with them. Not to the point where I'm going to sell my soul just to keep them. No, not me. It ain't that serious to me. I'm not doing no illegal activity. I'm not claiming 17 kids on my taxes. You know, I said earlier, Tania, the focus is Diddy. And that's fine, but I feel like all of them need to go down. I don't think Quincy was in the home, at the house, at the mansion at the time, because they would have had them on that long too. They would have. Now, before I bring the people in the building, hold on one second. You know, Suge Knight, it kills me that Suge Knight is behind bars. But you know what? He doing his podcast, collect calls from Suge. And I will say this, he be speaking some sense. As messy as he is, he makes sense. Let me see, was my screen sharing? Okay, there we go. My screen is sharing. Let's hear Suge Knight talk. Collect calls from Suge. Oh, let me see.
It's a little crazy how Puffy get booted out the alcohol business and Jimmy Iovine steps in with Andre and Snoopy promoting it. It's never a good look when it comes to culture of hip hop and for our community, our people. First, I'd like to pray for his family, his daughters and his sons, you know, his kids basically. That's never a good sign for nobody to cheer about when it comes to kids or young men being handcuffed. It's a bad day for hip hop, for the culture, for black people. Because when one look bad, we all look bad. Because that's Definitely not nothing to cheer about. But I tell you what, Puffy, your life is in danger. Because you know the secrets, who's involved in that little secret room you guys participating in. So, you know they're going to get you if they can. It's a little crazy how Puffy get booted out the alcohol business and Jenny Gavin steps in with Andre and Snoopy promoting it. It's never a good look when it comes to culture of hip hop and for our community.
Listen, I agree with him. Pray for the kids. I agree with him. It's not a good look when your name Brother Love and you're going to get cleaned up. Listen, guys, y'all know what I need in that chat, don't you? So I can bring these people on in the building. I need a what? I need a choo-choo. All aboard, everybody. It is Thursday night and it's time for Trending Topics, and I'm about to bring the people in the building. It is caught in the crossfire. We got Quincy, whose biological dad is Al B. Shore, and Al B. Shore told Quincy, the door is wide open. Come on home. Then we have Daphne Joy and her baby Sire. 50 cents. Now he want to troll his own baby mother, talking about I'm going to take custody, 100% custody of my son. Why? Because I'm an S worker. I had him all this time. You want to act like you didn't know what I was doing or wasn't doing? I had a whole OnlyFans all this time. Did you come see about your kid? But now because of some allegations, you want to take my kid? You can go have several seats, 50 Cent, because when I'm done with you, you won't even have a quarter. We're going to talk about it. Then we got Justin and King Combs. When the home got raided, they were scared. Hit the like button, people, because I'm bringing the people on in the building. We're going to have a conversation about this. Hey, in my opinion.
Hey, Diva. Choo-choo.
Choo-choo. Hey, Leo.
Hey, Diva. Hey, Opinion.
Hey, Katrina. Hey, E.
Hey, Diva. Choo.
Come on now. Hey, Wayne.
Hey, Diva. Hey, y'all.
Hey, 48. You coming to hang out? Okay, now.
Hey, Diva.
Hey, Tay. Hey, Julius. Hey, Dustin.
Hello.
Okay, we're going to talk.
Hello.
Hey, Dustin. So listen, guys, y'all know I get soft and pink every now and then. And sometimes you can reel me in, sometimes you can't, and it's okay, right? But this Daphne Joy, I don't know what she has or has not done yet. Right now, it's just accusations against her that she was an S worker for Diddy. And her baby daddy, 50 Cent, is trying to come at her neck, talking about, I'm going to come take the kid. I want 100% custody. You know what? He's a big troll. But I mean, to troll your own baby mama is just too much. Now, let me see. First, let me go. Hold on, because I have a lot of pieces to show y'all with this. I'm just trying to see which one I want to show. Okay. Let me show this one.
Hi, Julius.
Hello.
Okay. So right here, Daphne Joy, who is being accused of being a S worker for Diddy. She took to her Instagram and she wrote a message to 50 Cent because he came out and said, wow, you an S worker? Wow, I didn't know. Then he later on came out and said he's going to take 100% custody of their son, Sire. They have together. So Curtis James Jackson, everything is a joke to you until our safety is compromised, which is happening now. You are wreaking real havoc, frenzy, and chaos onto people's lives. How would you feel if Sire was the one in handcuffs for nothing? We moved to New York to give you the opportunity to be a father to your son, and you saw him 10 times out of the 2 years that we lived 1 mile away from you. I'm tired of upholding and protecting the image to our son that you have never even earned. Let's put the real focus on the true evil actions of harming me and physically abusing me. You are no longer my oppressor, and my God will handle you from this point on. You have permanently damaged the last hope I had for you as a father to preserve our family with these last and final false claims made against me. You have broken our hearts for the last and final time. So you out here trolling, and in some ways, she pretty much saying you ain't no different than what they're accusing Diddy of. You're in these streets doing the same thing because you did it to me. Now, this is a side note. If you watch Love and Marriage DC, Jamie from that show, he be in all the comments. I see him all the time. But anyway, let's go here. Here she said, I'm deeply hurt by the lies in Rodney Jones' lawsuit. The claim that I'm an S worker is 100% false and character assassination. I am retaining an attorney to explore all legal remedies against both Rodney and his attorney. So that is Daphne Joy. And so far, 3 individuals have been named as S workers for Diddy and said they was on payroll. It's Young Miami. It's this Daphne Joy. And it is another young lady. Let me just add another piece to this story. Let me just show you this. Hold on 1 second. My computer is being very slow today. Please make sure you
It's that Diddy effect.
mute. I know. If you are talking to me, please don't mute. And somebody I see is trying to get in, but the backstage is full. Okay. I think it's coming through. Let's give it time. That was her just breaking down, crying. You know, again, not sure what she has or has not done yet, but I will say this. Diddy, in a negative way, has impacted so many lives. It's sad. So many people are going to get caught in the crossfire of this thing. And all I could do is pray that this thing will be over soon. Earlier, I called this thing a circus because let me tell you something. When the feds and Homeland Security are really investigating something and doing something, it's not all of these leaks and people talking, you know, from the agency and all of that. They don't do that. To me, they're running a full-blown circus right now by letting little pieces of information leak, by people from the alleged inside talking. It's just a circus and it's a mess. What they're trying to do, in my opinion, is they're trying to shake Diddy. But why don't you stop trying to shake him and just collect the evidence you need to get him? In my opinion, what are your thoughts about this? Daphne Joy and 50 Cent saying he wants 100% custody of their son. The girl been doing OnlyFans. So now to hear that she's a alleged ex worker, that's cause for you to take the kid, but the OnlyFans was cool. Your thoughts?
I don't know if she's a S worker. I'm not gonna say that because I don't want putting that on nobody that is not true. But all I can say is they should take it off of social media and handle this the professional way.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, in my opinion. I appreciate you. I'm coming to you, Leo. Let me just throw this piece in there. Somebody, you know, and I get it. Too Good to Leave You Now said, well, she chose to be the P word. So it is what it is. Because our world and this social media has desensitized that profession, so to speak, because now they call it Instagram model. And to be honest with you, a lot of these Instagram models, when the people come up in the DMs, it's a lot. That's all I'm gonna say like that. So 50 Cent seeking sole custody of his Daphne Joy's son after she's named as a alleged worker in the Diddy lawsuit, the report said. So 50 Cent's plans to seek sole custody of his and Daphne Joy's son Sire after she was named as an alleged worker in the lawsuit against Sean Diddy Combs in February, according to a new report. Given the latest developments and news of Daphne Joy's involvement in the Diddy lawsuit, 50 is going for sole custody of his son, and a close source to the situation told U.S. Weekly Thursday. 50 Cent's rep had no comment, and Joy didn't immediately return page 6 request for a comment. The boy is absolutely adorable. He's handsome. You know, born Curtis Jackson III, the In the Club hitmaker and OnlyFans model, dated from 2011 to 2012. They split shortly after now 12-year-old Zaire birth. 50 Cent also shares son Marquise, 27, with his ex. Upon learning that Joy, along with Young Miami and model Jay, have been mentioned in a $30 million lawsuit filed by Little Rodney Jones, the Gene Doodle founder reacted to the news on Instagram using a photo of himself smoking a cigar in the rain. It's her. She's a beautiful girl. And he said all of these things. He said pretty much like, oh, wow, you're a worker. You're an worker. Wow, that's what you're doing. It was a mess. It's very sad. It's a sensitive situation. Leo, what are your thoughts?
I recently, Diva, watched probably maybe about an hour ago or so. I watched Pam Esquire. She is an attorney that goes through the paperwork. And I can't remember, it's Motown and it's Motown Distribution that was named in Little Rod's lawsuit, a $30 million lawsuit. And the attorneys for Motown and the distributing company is coming for Tyrone Net. They coming for Tyrone Net for putting in his lawsuit things that were not facts, right? He put in all this salacious stuff, inferring that the company gave Puffy money, which he in turn spent on illegal activities. Yep. And so they coming for they darn near cussed them out in legal words, okay, and cussed out Tyrone. So yes, I say that to say that it's probably wholly true. It's probably true that some allegations was made against Miss Joy that were not true, even though she is an Instagram model and she is doing OnlyFans. He never had a problem with that before. But then you won't take your phone and get on social media and drag your baby's mother, a 12-year-old that's got to go to school and got to be on the internet, and he got to read how his father is dragging his mother.
Come on.
That's reckless. That's insensitive at the highest level.
Come on.
It is not protecting your child. And so 50 is full of it. He is full of it, because if you wanted that boy, you would have been done that.
Come on.
You trying to put your foot on her neck when she down.
Yes. Oh, come on.
And that's all you doing. And it's so ruthless. I know 50 always been a troll. 50 been a troll since the 90s, before the social media internet. He always been a troll. But now I see how deeply immature he is as well. He is deeply immature. His emotional IQ is zero.
Zero.
It's zero. I don't really get what his end game is. So his end game is to destroy the mother of his child, like to really come at her like this. That's his goal. It has to be, and not to have to pay child support to her anymore. Let's keep
Come on now. That's what that's about.
Yeah, not to have to keep paying her child support. This man is. He gets a tomato too. He gets rotten tomatoes as well. This man right here. It's a lot of foolishness that I put up with 50, but then for him to stoop this low in the middle of the melee. Now, if he wanted to drag Diddy, then drag Diddy. But you gonna drag your baby's mother too? For some stuff that ain't even real, that possibly is not real. She's saying out her mouth it ain't real. I'm quite sure you probably call and talk to her. She told you it wasn't real. You getting ready to raise a 12-year-old. Man, bye. You ain't never raised none of your kids. Man, you better get off my mind.
Get out our face with that. So DeRay Jones, thank you for this information. You said 50 Cent was charged with DV against Daphne back in 2013 and destroyed a bunch of property in her condo. I believe he did what she claimed she said he did, because a lot of times they get with these Instagram models, they get mad when they got and the person gets pregnant, and then they're angry at themselves and they take it out on the females. Let's be clear and understand this, y'all. I'm showing this to say you already knew who she was. This is her Instagram. You thought she was baking cookies somewhere? That's her Instagram. And she took some stuff off. But that's her Instagram. So you already knew what it was. And now because somebody says this allegation, now all of a sudden you got to get 100% custody. It's about the money you probably paying her. You could go sit down somewhere at 50 Cent, but you're dead wrong. And like you said, his emotional IQ is zero, and you're impacting the children. Care about your son and let the pettiness go. This is Sire's mother. Don't do it. Katrina, you're up.
Hello, y'all. Good evening. Yeah, it is trolling, but what was she getting paid for by Diddy anyway? I mean, it's not our business, but I'm just wondering, what was she getting paid for by Diddy? Was Diddy pimping them out, or was he just keeping them for himself? But either way, you seen her IG. She's on OnlyFans. And if that haven't, I hope her son and schoolmates ain't looking on OnlyFans, because she already put herself out there. But the thing I would have done was, well, she already tried to talk to her. That's, 50 and Puffy don't get along anyway. But the thing is, I would have been tried to shield him from that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to say take your child away from the mother, but I'm saying she's already doing OnlyFans, and that's no less worker than a P worker. But he should have more sympathy and more caring, because this is his son, and you want to do anything to protect your child at that age, especially when they're in school. But then again, she had to realize who she was dealing with and what she was doing and what she seen Puffy doing. She should have known that something was coming down the pipeline. But as I could see, like I said, we don't know everything that's going on. We don't know Lil Rodney telling the truth or whatsoever. But we know she was dealing with Diddy. We don't know what was her dealing with Diddy. But I just hope, like in my opinion, said, take it off social media. But of course, 50's not going to take out social media, because you love to keep it going, keep it pushing. But the only person that's a casualty in that is the 12-year-old. So hopefully, well, I know what he be with his son a lot, though. I'm not going to lie about that. We do see him with that son a lot, probably because the son is light skin. No, never mind. But anyway, he be with that son a lot. But we just have to see how it goes, because this thing is going back and forth and we don't know. Because like the guy said, Vlad, as we already know, said that the police would come in, the captain, lieutenant would come in and would see what the highest, what's going on social media, as you would say. And that's the cases that they would try to build on, especially if it's a high profile person. So we just have to go with whatever's going to happen. It is just so confusing because we have to talk in circles. But anyway, we'll see how it goes. That's all I got, y'all.
Yeah, I mean, the mother said when they moved to New York and lived a mile from him, in 2 years she saw him 10 times. He saw the son 10 times. When is he with the son when he needs a photo op? And now all of a sudden he has
No, he be keeping the son. He be keeping it. But like I said, I don't know. I'm not in the post. I'm not there to see it in general. But we do
just
see
going
him
by
a lot
what the mother said. I don't know 50 Cent. I'm going by what the mother said. And the mother said in her own post, we moved 1 mile from you, and in 2 years you saw your son 10 times. Now with son, and this wasn't always there. He got a picture when the son was much younger as his Instagram picture. Why not have the updated picture and the picture with you in it? Because there's a cute one there. All I'm saying is 50 Cent, he's very performative. He likes to troll. And I'm just saying, this is not the time to be trolling. It's the mother to your son. And listen, it's not about who I believe. Listen, these are these people's stories, but she put it on her Instagram. I ain't seen him clap back yet about that. And he know how to do his clap back. Julius, you're up. Hold on, guys. What I'm saying is, when it comes to her Instagram, he's acting like she was he didn't know about who she was and how she gets down. If on your Instagram, and I'm not saying anything negative about this girl, y'all gotta come together and have adult conversation. I'm saying if my Instagram, every picture I got, my boobs out, my butt's out, I'm showing my goods, and the girl is beautiful, and I already said that. I'm showing all my stuff, and now you want to come to me and act like I was like the usher in the church because you want to come take my son? And she has her OnlyFans. It's out of her own mouth that she has her OnlyFans. So now to hear that somebody's an S worker, you coming to take their kid, but they had an OnlyFans. What is she doing on her OnlyFans? If she's showing that on Instagram, what is she doing on her OnlyFans? So I'm not down in the girl. I'm saying, why are you coming to try to take my kid now when you knew what was good from the door? Go ahead, Julius.
I just feel like emotions are heightened right now. And I'm going to be honest, I don't know what this woman experienced when she was in the company of the minion himself. And we all know who I'm referring to. I feel bad for her. I feel bad for her son. 50, keep your energy on Diddy. Stop disrespecting her. Because let me just say this. There's folks who have OnlyFans, but guess what? Guess what? They also have other jobs too that they are using to pay their bills, keeping their lights on, keeping their utilities paid, food in their houses. It just doesn't do it anymore to go to Target and Walmart and everything else. We got to think of other means. Now, I'm pretty sure she's probably reevaluating. She's probably like, dang, I'm about to lose my kid. I'm pretty sure she already feels the heavy weight of her past association with Diddy. But if 50 wants to talk about how much of a good father he is, then how come he didn't raise his oldest son?
Well,
if we're going to talk, we're going to talk. Because we never hear about Curtis Jr. And I heard a couple of years ago they was on the outs because 50 didn't raise his oldest son. The oldest was with his mama and his grandparents. So if we're going to talk, then we need to talk. And 50 needs to be coming off of his precious pedestal 20 notches, because guess what? He chose to procreate with her. He knew what she was about. He knew how she moved. In 50, he's actually 50 years old. And guess what? And he has the intelligence of a marble. Let's just say that. Take some responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
Take some responsibility, because you never know the target that is on her back. And him making that disgraceful statement, that probably put a bigger target on her back that she probably has to. We never know. She's probably going to do away with the OnlyFans. But he needs to calm it down.
I appreciate you. Tay, you're up.
I with Julie's too. Like 50 Cents, you almost be 50 and you doing this challenge thing right here by your baby mama. You need to focus on Diddy and be a father and be a man. Take a responsibility too. If you just being a challenge, you grow up and shut and be quiet your mouth. Be a man. Be a man and be a great father. That's all I gotta say about that, Diva.
I appreciate you, Tay. So too good to leave you now. Some would say that making a move to get your son is taking responsibility. He's 12. If you was going to take responsibility, what happened at birth? What happened at 1? What happened at 2? What happened at 3? What happened at 4? What happened at 5? What happened at 6? What about 7? How about 8? How about 9? How about 10? I mean, miss me with the nonsense. Taking responsibility, the baby, there was a responsibility on conception when the baby was in her belly. She said she moved, and you saw him 10 times in 2 years, and you lived a mile away. There's an alleged kid out there that's walking around that claim you the daddy, and you won't take a DNA test. You want to take responsibility? Go to get a DNA test so we can know who is the father.
Diva, can I address a couple of things?
Oh, give me a minute. And then there's another person. You got the other son that's 27 that you and him are going back and forth. You want to be a father? Go to the 27-year-old and see what went wrong between y'all and make things right. It's the nonsense for me. 48, you're up.
Yeah, hey Diva, hey everybody. Okay, this is how I feel. I feel like all that trolling, all that bullying, he is catching up with him, and he put the spotlight on him. I believe it's probably other people that had experiences with him, but for both of them to get in their feelings about the game, like if you know how this lady was in the beginning, why are you trying to act like you can change or make a hoe into a housewife? And then it's like, if you a hoe and you out there, why you think that you gonna change a rapper that's like out there doing what he do? It's stupid to me. Now what I think is sad is if these allegations are false and like she has nothing to do with like getting underage people and drugs and stuff like that. I think it's absolutely wrong for them to say, but it's like they wouldn't be lying if they called her SA worker, because that's what she portrays. But also to me, her Instagram look regular. Like if you're beautiful, no matter what color you are, no matter male or female, no matter what, if you're beautiful and you can sorry to say, exploit people who are, simps and tricks and gullible to pay you money to look at pictures or videos, then do your thing. But no, as a woman, your stock goes down with age. It doesn't matter how good you keep your body. It does. That's just the truth. So, like, to me, I'm not judging them because, like I told y'all, I got kicked out the house at 15, pushed off the damn porch at 16. So it's stuff that I had to do to survive. So I'm not pushing judgment on them, but I think at a certain age you have to come up out of that. At a certain age, you just look crazy, and to me, it just looked crazy. But I'm happy that he's gonna get his just due. I think all this that he be doing, all that talking with his box head ass, is gonna get him caught up, and I'm happy about that part.
Right. You know, the other piece for me is I'm of the mindset that once y'all become parents, I don't care how much y'all dislike each other, shut up. Don't do that dislike on social media because you're impacting the kids. The kids are in the crossfire. Don't do it on front stage. Do it behind the scenes, and you definitely don't do it in front of the child. You knew what I was when you met me. You knew what it was when you got with me. You knew how I got down. I knew how you got down. And we got this kid. So let's both shut up and raise our kid and go on about our life.
Keep it professional. Keep it strict and an escort,
Yeah. Raheem said being on OnlyFans impacts the kids. Here's the thing I was going to say. Unfortunately, because of social media, what may be considered the norm to some is so desensitized. So everybody's saying her Instagram is normal. I'm not going to go in and out with that, but normal to who? Hello, Diva and chat. I will be in and out of this live at times. I'm tired of calls. I know that you need to detox from the mess. I ain't mad at you. So it's the norm for who? It's the norm for like what they call the Instagram models. But my thing is, if that is her Instagram, and this is my point, okay, if that is her Instagram, surely her son at 12 already seen it, because my son had what do you call it? He had his phone at 10, and if what you don't see yourself, trust me, your friends that got a phone, they're going to show you. When you go to these lunchrooms or these playgrounds outside, sometimes all the kids are gathered around looking at one person's phone. You can never shield your kids from the world. You're going to have to instill some things in them, and you're going to send them out there, and there's what it is. So I'm sure already everybody knows that Sire, daddy is 50 Cent, mommy is who she is, and they checking out mommy online on her Instagram. That is not blocked. So that means anybody could see it, all the kids or whatever. So sex is over-sexualized in our world today because at your fingertips, before parents maybe had it on their TV, but they could put blocks on their TV. And we walking around with TVs, everything in the palm of our hands now. And not just you. You cannot give it to your kid, but somebody else's kid is going to have it. And they're going to be, oh, see? Oh, you don't have the phone, you don't have a game? Yeah, here, play the game on my phone. Oh, let me show you this. Oh, you don't know about Instagram? Let me show you this. You don't know about TikTok? Come watch these videos with me. Yes, Raheem. Too much sex in the copers, and rappers ain't helping it. Well, I'll get into that in a minute, but let me go to E. E, you're up.
Well, it had to be his cash because we've seen his face. And I remember on Power, Curtis did a nude scene, and so we've seen his package too. So I know that's not the reason that she was with him. And so there's only one thing left. The bottom line is Daphne was hanging out with Diddy right after she left Curtis. And I do remember when Diddy and Curtis were going back and forth on Instagram about that. That made the shade room. And so you're not going to convince me that you coincidentally fell on the lap of Curtis first and then Diddy second, and you didn't do anything unorthodox to get there. Pick means get picked, okay? And so when these sort of things happen, this is a consequence. She said on Instagram or wherever she made that post, Curtis essayed her, and she implied that he physically struck her. And this is prior to her getting with Diddy. Now, fast forward, Diddy has done the same thing Curtis did to her, but Diddy did it to Kim Porter, Cassie, and I would even venture to say Young Miami, allegedly. There's a plethora of other men and women and young girls and young boys who have said that Diddy has done this to them. So at this point, I have to believe that Daphne has a type and she knows what she is doing. As long as the man has money, she will open her legs for him. She's from the Philippines. So she knew what she signed up for. These women are smart. They have an agenda. They see a target. They lock in and they go get it. And I don't have a problem with the OnlyFans. I don't have a problem with the risque photos. And I don't have a problem with you living your life and being sexually liberated. That's all good with me. I do, however, have a problem with anyone who is getting access to behind the scenes and has firsthand knowledge of the ins and outs of how these Black men within this hip hop circle navigate and then claim that she encountered these similar relationships with these same men and endured this same abuse and claim it was an accident. And she was none the wiser. You picked these people. And he was a liar when you met him. And I'm talking about Curtis. He was abusive and emotionally unavailable when you met him. He was crass when you met him. Before you had this baby, it was no reason to reproduce and procreate with this degenerate, low-life waste of a human vessel. So now as it relates to Curtis, it doesn't surprise me that he is an uninvolved father. He went to Instagram, as Julius mentioned, and told his firstborn son, "You are my biggest enemy. You are dead to me, and I will never speak to you again." He even told that first son, "I don't need you anymore. That's why I have another son." He did the Brian McKnight.
Yes,
This is what the Black men do. Okay.
Talk.
So now come to find out you haven't even seen this child that you were taunting your firstborn over more than 10 times in 2 years. He doesn't want custody of that baby. Be clear. He just wants to stick it to Daphne because he is petty, bitter, and childish. And he sees his time to strike back after she originally embarrassed him by going with Diddy in the first place. So I have no sympathy for either one of them because this is the game that people play, but this time she lost. Daphne watched how Curtis dogged his first baby mama. Now it's her turn. And I have
Come
no
on,
sympathy
E.
for Curtis being a Black man and being a rapper. Really, that's the lowest of the low. That's the lowest you can get. Anytime you get pregnant by a rapper, you are with the lowest of the low. You can't get any lower. Degeneracy. He promotes promiscuity, drugs, and violence. That's his brand. And if any courts wants to give this man a child after he has made all these enemies in the streets, he's been pow-powed 9 times. He lacks the bandwidth to be physically and emotionally present. And if the judge wants to give a baby to him, that goes above my pay grade. We got to be more careful about who we vote in for judges.
Well, there, drop the mic. Boo. So hold on, Lorraine. You know, we be fighting. You and I be going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But I'm with you right here. Look at this. That we on the same car train tonight. Why are they leaking the depositions and not keeping them private?
Sure enough are.
The feds are trying to get this man through the court of public opinion. It's reckless. I said it earlier. A whole full-blown circus with the popcorn, the clowns, the cotton candy. Where's the tangible evidence? Come on, you done raided the man's house. If you got the stuff, give it to us. Go get him already.
No.
But they want this right here. They want this public opinion. They want this nonsense. They want this circus. And they also know that Diddy ain't built for this. That man is weak. He's not strong when it comes to this. He's a corporate gangster. He's not that street gangster. And I can't picture him lasting a single day, not a minute in the jail. But you let your kids get handcuffed. Now, I want to say this about Daphne and falling into the same type of relationships. And I'm just going to throw this out there. And then I'm going to move on to my screen shifted a little bit. Melanated, then I'm going to come to Wayne, then I'll go back to Julius. Let me just say
And
this.
me.
Oh, you didn't finish. I'll let you finish. Give me 1 second, E. I want to say this. Most of us, whether we're male or female, unless we do some counseling and some deep healing, we all fall into the same relationships over and over again. The person just has a different name. And that's facts. This ain't diva. Look it up. Google it. Think about your own life. Most of us, when we break up with somebody and we go to get with another person, if we did not heal that mess from before, we're going to be with the next person. They're going to be the same thing with a different name. That's why you got to take a moment. You got to evaluate. You got to acknowledge your part that went wrong in the relationship. You got to meditate. You got to pray. You got to figure that thing out. Or guess what? Yesterday you was with Johnny and he was a mess. Tomorrow you're going to be with Paul and he's going to be a hot mess too because you didn't heal. So we all will fall into the same and similar relationships because we don't get what we speak out of our mouth. We get what we're harboring inside and is not healed. So the girl, yes, she has a pattern. She has a pattern because she's not healed. She has a pattern because she's following the only thing she knows. She has a pattern because she knows in this world right here, if you got the looks, you got a body, and this is not just in that sector. If you look a certain way, no matter what you do, you work in Target, Walmart, corporate America, you get pulled over for a ticket, you are most likely to win if you look the way society feels you should look or they consider a good-looking person. And that's just the point blank in the period. I ain't making it up. I'm telling you, it is what it is. Go ahead and finish, E.
I hear you, but I also think when you are a quote unquote preference and you go out and get your body done and you get these enhancements, you put yourself in place to be in close proximity with these rappers who are low-hanging fruit for and you know that they're looking for women like you who have gotten their body done to look just like you, and you are submissive for a while. You cater to these men, you give them an idea of what they want, you get pregnant, you get the check, and then you move forward. I'm not interested in hearing what happened to you in between because this is the game and this is a part of it. But in relation to Diddy and the information, quote unquote, being leaked out by the HSI and all of these official entities, there's only two things that come to my mind. Number one, they either want more people to come forward. That's why they keep, giving us these little trail bits, because over the years, people have been victims, but they were too scared to come forth. But now that the tides are turning, other victims may have more courage, because before Cassie, we didn't know there was a little Rodney around the corner. Now that little Rodney has come forward, we don't know who will be next, because now that fear is dwindling down, and now we know that this is an easy mark, and it's easy to hit right now. The second thing is there's been talk that there are other people involved, right? People who have more status, more powerful than Diddy, more to lose than him. And so if there are other people involved who have more to lose, I can see them dropping these little nuggets around, because ultimately they want to destroy his credibility so that any leverage that he has on anybody else who would be even more vital to the culture right now, especially as we approach political season, let's go ahead and get him out the way so that he can't say anything else. He will be so broken. He can't say anything about anybody else because he can't even defend himself because he's so burdened. Do you know what I mean? And so I do believe it's a tactical approach, and the game that he's in, he's already lost.
Diane, thank you for the super chat. I truly appreciate you. Hashtag facts, hashtag patterns, hashtag pretty privilege. So but they're doing it in a very reckless, sloppy way, E. So I don't disagree with you. What they want to prove to is the people they already have, see, we're doing something. You're not going to be ignored this time. We're going to go get them. And they also want the other ones that are scared and hiding in the woodworks to come out. But they got more than enough people right now, right? What they don't have is something that was going to stick. I promise you this. If they had something that was so locked in and they was going to stick, and after they got in that house, they got it, would you think they would be waiting this long? See, what you got to understand, like Leo said, because I read this too, in Rodney's lawsuit, he said that, I'm going to make up the names right now, but whatever record company it was, that those two entities, they gave money. So Little Rodney,
the company is called Universal Music Group. Diva, I apologize for cutting you off. That's Universal Music Group.
Thank you. Universal Music Group and somebody else, he said they gave funds. This is what Little Rodney said. They gave funds to
Motown
get
Records.
the accountant to pay the workers. So you see what I'm saying? Little Rodney, he getting so cute right now. He keep running and running his mouth. That's why I said, see, Tyrone need to tighten this thing up. And now those companies are coming like vultures, like, hold on, wait a goddamn minute, because you now tying us into this ring. See,
but they are tied in.
But hold on one second. You're tying us into this. And what you got to understand is, again, why they didn't come get Diddy yet. One thing they cannot do, they cannot tie Diddy to paying these people. And Little Rodney, with his big mouth, he just helped them. Can you understand what I'm saying? Little Rodney didn't say this money came out of Diddy's account. And let's just say it did. Little Rodney said that one and that one gave the money to fund the S workers. Because as I was sitting down, I'm like, I get he's a billionaire, but hold on one second. If he was paying this one $500,000, and if the going rate to be an S worker under Diddy is anywhere starting at $200,000 to $500,000 per month, you're talking in 1 month he's spending $2 million a clip on these S workers. If Diddy didn't want to, he was fighting with Cassie between, they said $10 million was the argument. Okay, I'm not saying that was her settlement. They was disagreeing within a $10 million window. If they're disagreeing within a $10 million window, but he allegedly is coming out of his pocket with $2 million for S workers, the math is not mathing and it doesn't make no sense. If I just can willy-nilly give up my money, my own money, $2 million a month on S workers, but Cassie, who has all of this explosive stuff for fact, because she was my boo for 10 years, she was my road dog. I got up and did a speech, said thank you for the good times and the dark times. So I know she know where all the bodies are buried. I won't give her extra $10 million on top of what she's asking for, but I'm every month in 1 year paying out $2 million a month at bare minimum for S workers. It doesn't make sense. So Little Rodney, you got to put the pieces of the puzzle together. Little Rodney, he said that these people was giving the money to help pay for these workers, and then the accountant would pay them, wire them the money, or sometimes give them the money in cash. Miss Diane, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for the super chat. So what I'm saying here is, he's muddying the waters. This thing is all twisted up, and they got a whole lot of information right now, but they are trying to tie all of this to Diddy so he could be the fall guy. But there's too many other names, stuff, places in it, and he did not spend all of this money himself on these workers. He did not. So if you're going to come for Diddy, then you got to come for these others that was help funding this thing. and Little Rodney. So now Diddy is lucky in that sense. He ain't got to die nobody out. Little Rodney did.
I think that was the whole plan to begin with, honestly, Diva.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead. You go ahead and talk now.
I think that was the whole plan. Like, you set up the groundwork exactly for how I envisioned it. I believe that it was planned because Diddy asked Little Rodney to film everything. So why would he ask him to film everything? And that actually exposes how everything is operating. You know what I'm saying? And then you got the testimonies of how much he's paying these S workers monthly, $500. Come on now, like, it has to make sense. Make the dollars make sense. If it makes dollars,
hold on 1 second. Paula, the amounts was not exaggerated. Before we knew about all of this stuff, Young Miami herself, hold on 1 second. Sorry. Young Miami herself was doing podcasts, walking around, saying as Diddy's girlfriend, she got an allowance, she called it, of $300K a month. And she did another podcast where allegedly she was leaving Diddy because her allowance was cut. This came out of her own mouth. So my thing is, all of them, including Diddy himself, they had diary of the mouth, and there's so much footage out there that they can piece it together and implicate each and every one of them off of their own words. So everybody keeps repeating what is already known out there, right? Saying the Southern District, they got a 98% conviction rate or whatever the case may be. Listen, people, they raided the house. Was he arrested?
That's what I wanted to talk about. That was Homeland Security that raided the house. It wasn't the feds. Is Homeland Security now? Is feds now Homeland Security?
Go ahead. Yeah.
That's what I want to know. I want to know, is Homeland Security now the feds, or is the feds now Homeland Security?
Yeah, that's part of the federal government, Homeland Security.
It's part of the federal government, but is it the feds? Because the CIA is part of the United States government as well, but it's different. It's different departments.
Yes, it's the federal government.
Hold on, guys. We don't got time to argue that because y'all know I got a time frame here. So finish.
I know the last the last one was like really, really, really long. So I was just trying to, get that question answered. But now my next thing is as far as 50 Cent. Remember how he put his other baby mother out of her out of the mansion that used to be Mike Tyson's, that he let her move in with the son, and then once he found out she had a boyfriend that was living there, he kicked them both out, like with the son. It was crazy. So that actually is like a testimony of how much like his character, and then also knowing that Tierra Marie and who she is and how she was treated in the industry and how he keeps like attacking her for that money. That's also a depiction of his character and who he is, because she's struggling, she don't got money, what happened to how she was exploited on Love and Hip Hop, Hollywood or whatever that was, and then she made a mistake and did that with Lisa Bloom as her attorney, but for him to continue to keep attacking her, asking for the money, like that was, to me, I feel like that was bullying, and I think like he don't really like women that much. Like he has to have some type of vendetta against women for him to do as he do. Like, now you're trying to take this lady's son away from her. Like, that's ridiculous. He used the son, he weaponizes the son to triangulate, like the people in his life. Like he did it to his other son. Like he was like, oh, that's his favorite child. Oh, he only has one son, to triangulate his other son because him and the other son wasn't getting along. A testimony of his character. That's all I wanted to say. Short and sweet, to the point. Thank you, Diva.
Thank you. Espar, thank you. Yes, that attorney's response for the record label, they was vicious. They was vicious. They tore that thing down. The attorney for the record label annihilated Little Rodney and his attorney for lying. Please read the attorney's response. If I have time, I'll bring it up, but I got to pick up the kid. It's Easter break. But yes, they did. Because like I said, you think you want to come up against some record labels? You saying that 2 record labels was funding the money for this thing? Now, I'm not saying whether they did or didn't. You better have a whole lot of proof that was going down before you say that. Lorraine said at Diva they didn't have evidence for Jonathan Majors. That's a whole different ball game. This is a whole different ball game.
And Diva, they coming for the attorney who wrote the complaint as well. Like they spitting out statutes. You lying. You no good. So and so and so. I'm coming for you for this, for that. This statute number 11, statute number 12. This one and that one. Oh yes. Oh,
but
yeah.
Can I tell you something, Leo, as I go around to the other people? I know people be throwing daggers at me when I speak. But when we first read Little Rodney's lawsuit, what did I say about Tyrone?
He was talking too much. He was putting too much. He was putting 20 on 10.
Did I not call this man a trash lawyer? Did I not say he did not stick to the facts? Did I not see? I never seen anything written like that all over the place. But everybody was so focused on the sensationalism of it all. When they throwing all this salacious stuff, you're distracting from the task at hand. That's why I'm saying right now, all of this stuff they throwing out there, out in the media, it's a distraction. It's the salacious of it all. But they know that we as the world, we love that because reality TV does very well.
It was
so they know they know we love this salacious stuff. But I said from the door because we read that lawsuit on here.
Yes,
I said this man is trash. Did you get him out the cracker jack box? So then now you got the real lawyers with some real paralegals behind them saying no. They quoting statutes and all of that. They annihilated him. They did. Thank you, Espar. I ain't got time. We'll have to do that on another day. We'll go through it. But you know, y'all beat me down. Diva, you stupid. You crazy. You this, you that. No, I'm not, and I'm not stupid, but I'm not that smart either. But I do put the pieces of the puzzle together. And you got to make things make sense.
And what people don't realize is that you can't put into regular documentation as a lawyer and tell lies. These people will disbar you.
True.
You cannot put in just inflammatory, sensationalist stuff in a complaint and these people not come for your throat.
No, Claire, I'm going to be very honest with you. Me as a lay person. And so sometimes for nursing, when it's medical cases, you know, they ask for a nurse consultant to look at the medical piece of it, this, that, and the other. I've seen lawyers put that thing together so airtight that you're not going to lose. And that's why I'm telling you, I read that case on this channel. And I forgot what day it was. I got too many videos. It was all over the place. It didn't focus on the task at hand. The task at hand is he wasn't paid. He was sued because he wasn't paid. But then he also wanted to sue for SA. But then he also participated in it. He never mentioned that I was forced with a GUN. He never mentioned that I was forced to do this and my life was threatened and my family life was threatened. I don't got time, y'all, because I got to pick up the kid. Where we at? Who am I? Where am I? Who got to go? Who got to talk?
Me.
Go ahead, Wayne.
First of all, I think 50 Cent is just being petty.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, with so much going on, other things, you know, Diddy and so much other stuff happening that, you know, who is he that he would think, you know, that we mindful of him and concerned about, you know, what he's doing. Second of all, the baby's mama, she need to take some notes from Kelly Rowland. When Kelly Rowland was on that show and walked off, I didn't hear a peep out of her. You'd hear nothing in social media. She didn't respond to nothing. Okay. She didn't have to respond. Okay. That's how you keep out, you know, you just don't have to respond. Second of all, I mean, if she's an essay worker, prostitute, whatever, you know, hey, that's one of the oldest professions in the world. Okay. If that's how she making her money, if her kid is taken care of, because a lot of people going to work every day ain't doing nothing with their kids. You know, so if she's doing that and she's able to maintain raising her child and keeping her child out of that, you know, who's going to, if somebody stops her bag, who's going to pay her? Okay, I'm just saying, now, I'm not condoning, I'm just saying if that's what she's doing, but if she's protecting her child from it, I don't have no judgment to pass on her. You know, because it's not the worst thing. You know, and there's no way I don't think a judge would give that child you know, to him. So that's why I say he's just running his mouth. Mouth almighty, tongue everlasting. After this, you know, couple of days, you won't hear no more from him. You know, he's getting his 50 cent, you know, in words now. But after this, you won't hear too much from him. That, you know, he just had an opportunity to get a dig in on her, you know. So he don't like Diddy. Everybody knows that. And this was just an opportune time to go at them. But I think she should. You don't have to respond to everything. You know, on the TV, on crying and all this, and you know, that's all.
Thank you, Wayne. Who did I skip on this story? If anybody, did I? Okay, we went to everybody. All right, I'm gonna move on really quickly to you know, Quincy. Quincy is Diddy's stepson. Al B. Shore reached out, okay, and said, the door is wide open. I'm here for you. Now, many people were saying, why couldn't you just call him? Why? See, so you got grown folk misusing the social media. Unless you don't have your son's phone number and no way of getting in touch with him, I don't see why it had to be a social media request. Just behind the scenes, I'm here for you. And not only am I here for you, I'm here for all your brothers and sisters too. At the end of the day, wrong will always be wrong, right? And right is right. And Diddy is Diddy. But at the end of the day, he provided for Quincy. Quincy went to whatever schools he went to and had whatever he has or don't have. And it came from Diddy. I don't, you know, I don't want to get too deep in that. But you see now that there's a lot going on in his life. You know his mother's not here. So hit him up on the cell phone. Or hit him up on the private message in his Instagram. But it seems like everybody's performative and the performance is on social media. So let me share screen. So Diddy's stepson Quincy, biological dad Al B. Shore reaches out. You safe with me, son. So the wild thing is, while Diddy was up, nobody said nothing. Everybody was mum's the word. And I'm not feeling sorry for Diddy. I'm just throwing this out there. But now that he's down, everybody ready to throw the dirt on him. So as Diddy copes with his ongoing legal drama, Al B. Shore is seizing the opportunity to attempt to reconcile with his biological son and Diddy's stepson, Quincy Brown. Official Al B. Shore, hashtag love letter to my son. Come home. The door is wide open. You're safe here, son. I love you. Pops, your biological son. And then he promotes his podcast or whatever, or whatever it is he has, because you know Al B. Shore had a transplant. He almost died. And then he puts at transplants for all. In the wake of Diddy's associates being nabbed for the substances and 2 federal raids going down at Diddy's home, Al reached out to Quincy with an IG post stating, "Come home. The door is wide open. You're safe here, son." Al also told Quincy he loved them, but appeared to fire a subliminal at Diddy with his sign off, "I love you, Pops. You're biological." Because they call Diddy Pops. Remember Little Ava, Papa Combs? Worth noting, Al also tagged his podcast in the health org with which he works. So never a bad time to plug, apparently. No, it is a horrible time, really, to be honest with you. Some question his motive for reaching out so publicly and took the whole thing as a thinly veiled diss on Diddy. But it's possible Al just wants to ensure his offspring is safe. Diddy and Kim Porter, may she rest in peace. Now, this was in April of 2009. This is what Quincy wrote. You know, when the kids are broken and hurt, and they become adults and they're still hurt, it's a lot. So, letter to my father. I've been inspired throughout my life by my special circumstances and unique experiences. Foremost, I grew up with a family that injected me with unconditional love and enduring confidence. This is my foundation, the family holidays and celebrations with my maternal lineage, supportive smiles and audiences at school programs. Where am I at? I'm sorry, God. At school programs, guiding hands to complete homework and special projects in the wee hours of the morning. However, I grew up without my father, an irreplaceable force and influence that was absent in my life. I watched other kids enjoy the embrace of theirs, and I searched for a way to reconcile the meaning of my circumstance. Despite my pain, I managed a life as a good son with my father. Baseball, playing in the school band, church, all of the things that he would expect his son to do, I've done. I stood in front of audiences to receive awards. I heard their applause and praise, but the accolades have been absent. The sound of his clapping hands and encouraging words, his voice that I could distinguish in my sleep. I hate when this screen keeps jumping like that. I'm sorry, y'all. Where has he been? Now I reflect the journey of pain, challenges, and triumphs through the song I reconciled as a man, no longer a boy, in verse. Now that I am not alone. Albert Brown, also known as Albie Shore, is my biological father, but Sean Combs, also known as Diddy, has been a father figure in my life as long as I can remember. Sean Combs is the person who I look up to and appreciate as a father. He is the one who helped mold me into the person I am today and will always try to live up to his expectation. He has always been supportive of me, and I will forever love and respect him. As far as my biological father goes, the spitting image is all I have taken from him. Throughout my life, I've always wondered about him, where he was, what he was doing, and most importantly, was he even thinking about me? The absence of my father has given me a better understanding of what type of man I'm going to be. I'm grateful for my mom's love, support, guidance, and for her strength. To those who share my plight, know you have a great future, a destiny. Take the lemons that you are handed and make lemonade. Your journey is in a letter to my father, Quincy Brown. In my opinion,
I'm gonna keep this short, Diva, because you know I love the kids. I really feel like he should have had his father in his life, and part of me believe that it was Diddy that kept him away. I'm praying for healing over that little boy and that he find peace, but he don't need to be with Diddy.
Yeah, I appreciate you. Thank you. In my opinion, Leo, you're up.
I say, what you thought you had, it's painful for that illusion to be shattered, right?
Yeah.
So you write this letter about the man who you had seen as your father figure when your father wasn't there, only to find out that it ain't what you thought it was.
Oh, child. Oh my God.
So, healing energy to this young man. to Quincy. I hope he does reconnect with his father, but I do not appreciate the performative nature in which Albie reached out to his boy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see that as productive. I don't see that as him actually. It was all about it was all about calling out Diddy. It was all about stabbing him because he was the man that was there that raised your boy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it had anything really to do with trying to provide a safe place for your son. I really feel like that was a way of him saying, yeah, he did raise you, but I'm your biological, and I ain't that creepy dude. I'm this other dude. But he still wasn't there for him like that.
Mm-hmm.
So nothing takes away from that. You did that for the gram. You did that for the gram.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I ain't got nothing. You know what? I don't have anything as far as who Albie was in the industry. I don't have no dirt on him, anything I can actually speak of or think of, but how he treated his boy ain't been right. And I don't care how many crimes allegedly Puffy done been caught up in. That really don't change your relationship with your son.
Come on now. Come on now.
You earn your relationship and your respect with your children.
Mm-hmm.
It is not something he has earned. So just because of a downfall of another man don't create no hierarchy or no great spot with this young man. But good luck.
That part. And it seems like between him and 50, you're more concerned in taking a dig at Diddy that you don't care who's in the crossfires while you're trying to take a dig at him. So 50, you mad at Diddy, and you're going to let your baby mama and your son get hit with the crossfire while you trying to hit Diddy. I'll be sure you mad at Diddy, but you're going to let your son get hit in the crossfire when you're mad at Diddy. If you're going to say something lovely. I'm here for you and your siblings. The door is wide open for all of y'all. That's a man. Because he took your son in with the other kids. Open the door. Open the door. If y'all need me, I'm here. I ain't got daddy's money, but I got Diddy money, but I'm here. But you're going to put a dig in there. And then you're going to tag your podcast. Shameless. When you're up.
Y'all, they say that Diddy stepped in. I mean, if he married Kim Porter, and Kim Porter got a child, that's going to be automatic. So this is not like a thing like, you can come, but he can't. So that's just understand. The other thing too, I don't know, does anybody know at what age he got that boy? When he adopted Quincy, does anybody know?
I would have to look it up. It was very
okay.
young.
I was just because that might determine what I'm gonna say. Because he had a mother too. Did she make an effort to take him there? We don't know that. Okay, but I'm saying, it worked both ways. If he didn't go see him, then why couldn't the mother say, look, let me take him? But nobody, everybody I won't say everybody, but they put it that, Diddy took care of him and all of this. And also, if Diddy is as powerful and got all these connections and all this stuff, it has people shaking in their boots. I mean, do you think could have said something to Albie Shore like, hey, stay away from him or else? Okay, I'm just speculating. Or else may have came because they think he may have been tied in with what happened to him. So I'm just saying, I'm not going to pass judgment on Albie Shore because I don't know the circumstances as to why he didn't. So I can't really pass. It was something else I wanted to say. the part that gets me, is sad for me, is that this piece of shit, Combs, all he does, all the stuff he done, and his sons, these kids, have this somewhat of a perfect image. You're gonna treat your kids like gold, but you're gonna treat somebody else's kids like shit. And it hurts me to think that there's some redeeming qualities that they see in him, and I know that's all they probably see. And that's the sad part. They don't see the other part, And I mean, like the man not too long ago who had did people in years and years ago, and they finally caught him. This man it was years before they caught him. He raised a family, kids, successful, all of that. Okay, now how do you think the hurt's gonna feel in them that all these years their father then treated them well, only to find this out? How do you think you would feel? You take somebody who was taken at birth, and the parents that took them raised them well, great, sent them to great schools and all that, only to find out they had been kidnapped. You see the emotional roller coaster that would be in their mind is that this person I love did the worst thing that could be done to me, take me from my real people. But I love them. They love them because that's all they know. It's just life, but it's just sad that they know or they see these redeeming qualities in these people and they're actually monsters. I'm done.
Thank you. Katrina, did you go? Katrina, are you there? I'm moving on. Tay, did you go?
No, man, I didn't.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna make this short too.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with. Oh, okay, Katrina.
Go ahead, Tay.
Well, I agree with Leo and Wayne, and in my opinion, that's all.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Katrina, you're out. Katrina, did you go already? Okay, 48, I'm coming to you.
Okay, so I think I'll Be Sure should reach out to his son privately, and I think that he should just straight up tell his son that he was scared of Diddy. It's hard for me to believe as well, if we are to believe all of the things that Cassie put forward, that they didn't see a little bit of something, maybe not all, but something, that they probably shouldn't have seen. But I do think that I'll Be Sure should just be straight up. Like if your life was threatened, just tell your son that. Just come out and be honest. That worked for my family. You know what I'm saying? Just to say you're sorry that you weren't there and the door is open. What are you sorry for? The door is open wide. You have to come a little bit better than that to me. That's my opinion.
I appreciate you and I agree with you. Major changes, I'm feeling you. You have to understand, this is his father figure. Diddy is all he knows, no matter what he did to others. No excuses for Al B. Sure. He's a deadbeat. Sorry, not sorry. So here's the thing. People can have multiple personalities. A lot of times when you have these serial unalivers, or you have these people that did something, they was out there, their family is like, I had no clue. This man went to church. He did this. He went to work. We didn't know. It's like literally they have these two sides. They can compartmentalize them, right? They could be this over here and do this over here. Diddy was seeing these things as parties. I'm not. I will not rule out the younger piece of this. And the piece that's not going to allow me to rule out the younger kids in this situation is because I can't get out of my mind Justin Bieber. I can't get out of my mind Usher or underage. So I'm not removed that there's probably been parties with some underage people there. So I'm not removing this. I'm not removing anything that Diddy is possibly accused of. And very sinister. But it seems like he has this side of him that's sinister, and then he has that side of him that can be this loving dad, because you can see from what I see for the most part when it's with the kids, they seem to love him with every piece of their soul. And it breaks my heart because Christian, which is King Combs, the twins, their mom is Kim Porter. She's gone. And essentially, their father is going to be gone too. If you're locked behind bars, you're gone. And especially the time they're saying that Diddy could possibly get the rest of his life. I mean, he's in his 50s.
So Diva, so you don't think that none of the kids ever saw him get physical with their mom?
100%.
Yeah, that's
100%. But let's be clear. Even people that's not on Diddy's level see their moms and dads get physical with each other, or the dad get physical with them or whatever. But when you grow up in that thing, it's your norm.
Yeah, I agree. I'm saying, like, to me, I think I'll Be Sure should come out because they might not have seen the extreme of it all. Mm-hmm. But now with everything coming out, he just needs to be straight up with his son. You know what I'm saying? If you saying that the door open the door all the way. Say what it is. Because you just can't come to him and think, I mean, that piece that you read, it was in 2009. You know what I'm saying? He was crying out then. You know what I'm saying? But now that this space is open, I mean, you might as well just let it all hang out. To me, just let it all hang out.
No, I agree with you. So Sasuke said, yes, Diddy loves his kids. That's why I don't believe he knew about the raid. So you know what, Sasuke, I will pretend for 2.2 seconds, barely that he didn't know. But I forgot who said it. It was E who said it. Listen, y'all know how I'm living over here. I told y'all I got a 2-bedroom, 1.5 bath townhouse house. I got the smallest one in my unit. Y'all know how I'm living over here. And I got what do you call that? ADT. And I got the whatever, the Google doorbell. And I'll be in the nail salon. This ain't ping. Oh, okay, let me look. Or a package at my door. Ping, my neighbor walked by. Ping, somebody's over here around my area of my home. And with my little budget, because you depending upon how elaborate your system is, the footage that the doorbell captures is whatever. And do you know that even in just, when stuff happened in some of these neighborhoods, a lot of times they found out what happened by going to the neighbors' doorbells and saying, what's on your Ring doorbell? Can we look at the footage? So what I'm saying is, when he was at that airport, he knew, and he still got on that plane. And let's just say the plane was in flight when I found out, when I landed, whatever. I'm getting right back on and I'm going back and I'm seeing about my kids. Where am I? Katrina, you're up? Wait, hold on one second.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Hold on one second. Loving myself, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for coming through and being here and finding me. New subscriber, I saw you on another podcast, and the only thing I could think of, your name was the great part. So I searched high and low, and I finally found, finally Loving the podcast. Girlfriend, I'm glad you searched high and low, and I'm glad you're here. I appreciate you. Thank you. Go ahead, Katrina.
Welcome to the train. Welcome to the train, loving myself. Choo choo. Listen. The thing with Al B. Sure and Diddy, we don't know what Diddy had on Al B. Sure to make him back off like that. That man is very sinister. And I'm not saying that, he didn't love his kids or whatsoever. But how can you love the kids and you beating the mom? It goes both ways. You can't say you love my mom, love me, but you're beating up on my mom. So I don't get that. And the thing is, like we said, we don't know what he had on Al B. Shore, to keep him away. And then when Al B, like we said before, Diva, when Al B. Shore got ready to come up with a book, he ended up in a coma. They said it was from his gastric bypass surgery, but we don't know that. Every time somebody comes from this man, something happens. So we don't know what the intimidation thing was for Al B. Shore to stay away. And with the podcast thing whatsoever, I guess he letting his son know, look, come here. Even though, he could have direct messaged him or something like that too. But I guess he making it known that he loved his son. And I don't, it's a sticky situation because Diddy did raise his son. But like I said, how can you love me and you was hitting on my mom? So we just got to go with the flow. I mean, he's grown now. Albie Shore will always be his dad. Diddy will always be his stepfather, or father, or however he see it. And it's his decision now. It's out of our hands. That's all I got.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much, Mr. Hobson. Welcome in the building. How are you?
I'm great. Good evening, everybody. How's everybody doing?
All is well. How are you?
Great.
Good.
Great. A
Talk
little
to us.
tired. Had to work
Okay.
today, but God be the glory. This Diddy situation, it was really like a lot of things really like took me, but what really got me was the fact that his sons are involved. Like to see like just the whole situation with Homeland Security raiding the house, his sons and staff being escorted down the driveway, handcuffed, detained. It's like, I'm not a parent, let's be very clear, but if I were, just on the humility side of the situation, is like, I know he probably once he got wind that this was going down in his homes, like he probably wanted to get to his kids. But I gotta be honest too, like based on what's been presented to us, because we only can go by what's been obviously been presented to us in the public, but it kind of look a little like, this is my opinion, and let's be clear to all Diva's followers, this is not my opinion, it's not a reflection of her platform, but it kind of like to me that he might have got tipped off about this situation, because I was having a discussion the other night about this at dinner, and they were like, well, what do you think? I'm like, well, you have to understand, when you're a person like Diddy, you have various vast resources, vast money and connections. So it's very plausible to me, based on that him being him, that he could have possibly, not saying he did, got maybe tipped off. Because I mean, it's one thing to have one raid executed. I mean, it's a raid in general. I'm from Detroit. I mean, it is what it is. But to have two raids simultaneously going down at the same time in two states, it's like, and then where they found him, like at the airport and in your jet, it's like, in my opinion, did you get tipped off and were you about to hop a flight? Perhaps. I don't know. What y'all think?
Listen, he was definitely tipped off. And here's the other piece of it though. The real other piece of it is, either way, it doesn't sit well with me that you didn't go back to see about the kids. Let's just pretend you wasn't tipped off. Let's roll with that. Let's pretend you was going to vacation with just the girls. But if you follow Diddy on Instagram before all of this went down, every single vacation, including spring break, every kid was on that vacation with him. Even King Combs' girlfriend, because they would be floating on the yachts and partying and so forth and so on. And then when Baby Love was born, that year when they all went away together, Young Miami was there, Baby Love was there, Baby Love Mama was there, because Young Miami was a little teed off that Baby Love Mama was there. So all of them were on vacation with him. It's ironic to me that this vacation, it was just the twin girls and him, and the boys were home. It is what it is. It's all speculation. I'm not going to get in the weeds of it, and I'll never say that I'm 10 toes down on my thought. It's just my process of when I followed Diddy, and I really started following him heavy when Baby Love came about, because I think she's a doll face. But I noticed that when it's a vacation, when it's a birthday party, especially even when it's Baby Love birthday, her first birthday, all of them were there together. They rolled together thick as thieves. And his twin, which I call Christian Combs, King Combs, I feel like that's Diddy's twin. All of his kids love him, but I feel like Christian and Diddy, for whatever reason, was just thick as thieves, thick as thieves. When you see Diddy performing on the stage in this new album, the Love album, Off the Grid, which that is ironic too, Off the Grid, because that's where he is right now, off the grid. It's ironic, you know, King Combs, because he's the one that's an entertainer too, was in the videos dancing with him. Like he's definitely his daddy's son. It's just, this whole thing is just, it's sad. And like I said, in the crossfire of it all are the kids. And it's just, it's heart-wrenching to me. And it's heartbreaking. And it's just it's a hot mess. It's a hot mess. Felicia, I'm not sure, but do you want to say anything about this situation?
Hey, good evening, everybody. And listen, Diva, I know you gotta go.
No, I gotta go too.
Okay, no
But
problem.
let me say this, because I'm
no, I mean you skipped me.
I know, I'm coming to you, babe. I'll come to you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Brendan Paul was at the airport getting on the plane. Okay, the drug mule. He had the dope with him. Okay, so let's stop trying to clean up what's real. Okay, so he had his underage twins with him with a drug mule. All right, so he is who he is.
Yeah, but listen, and this again, this is my thought process. This and forget about Diddy for a minute. There's parents in their house smoking crack right now, and their kids is in the room.
Well, that's supposed to make it right.
No, I'm not saying to make it right.
Okay, all right. So listen, the facts are, Brendan had some stuff on him, not a lot. He had some candy, weed, and a little bit of the cocoa, and and then they were gonna go do a little pickup when they got there. That's why he didn't go back, okay? Because he had to go meet that shipment. So, clink, clink.
Yeah. I mean, parents smoke cigarettes in front of their kids. They drink in front of their kids. It's just this whole thing is just is messy. It's a lot of moving parts to it. It's a lot of pieces to it. Diddy, he definitely is. He definitely is. Listen, in the Little Rodney lawsuit, he also said in there that everybody had to walk around with a fanny pack with all the substances in it. So in case you bump into Diddy in that huge property that he had, any corner, any place, he didn't have to say, oh, go run 3 blocks down in the mansion and go get me something. If he bumped into me and I was there, I had to have my pouch on me. Here, what you need? Get it. He's not just an addict. This man is he got it bad. He got it bad. I always think back to when Prince was Last Days, and they caught footage of him outside of Walgreens pacing back and forth, because the only difference with Prince was he was a prescription addict. So he dropped all his prescription, and he couldn't wait until whoever went in to get it came out so he could take his stuff. You're up. Yeah.
So for me, I saw the comments about, oh, well, people smoke cigarettes in front of their kids. People drink in front of their kids. I don't do drugs. I don't drink in front of my kid. I don't smoke cigarettes. I don't do any of that. And so for me, I have to piggyback off of Katrina. No loving dad puts his hands on a child's mother and call that love. It's no loving about that. It's a terror is what it is. Those kids are blind, and it's time to wake up. Diddy gets no brownie points for raising Quincy in my eyes. We started the live talking about Diddy being with Curtis's son's mother. This is Diddy's MO. It's the oldest trick in the book. The way these dudes get at other dudes is to get at the women. These women and children are pawns on the chessboard to these men. That's the only reason a man will go 730 days and only see his kid 10 times. Don't be ridiculous. I also believe what 48 said. Al was scared of Diddy. And I've said it on this channel before. Men are afraid of other men just like women are afraid of men. Curtis was afraid of Diddy. What's the reason that a man who was pow 9 times waited all these years to say, you know what, you was Diddy's SA worker. You work for Diddy now. Why didn't you go at him back then? You've been pow 9 times. What else is there? Rodney was afraid of Diddy. He had to get the Grammy. He was living in the man's house and being essayed by Cuba Gooding Jr. What are you talking about? Gene Deal, too. Every time I preach about these 13.2 and how terrible some men can be to women, people in the chat act clueless. Yet when R. Kelly was finally locked up, so many men came out. What's the first thing they said? We all knew. Everybody in Chicago knew. He was always around there at the McDonald's. They were scared of R. Kelly. Same thing with Diddy. Gene Deal. Gene Deal is making video after video every week telling all the tea, getting hundreds of thousands of views. There was a video that just came out 10 hours ago, and I thought it had 200 and something thousand views. Okay? He witnessed all of this happening, right? But failed to take action because he was scared. Even though, I'm in the gang, I'm big bro, and he'll never do that to me. And some things I won't stand for. Lies you tell. How do we know he's scared? Gene Deal goes live every night. He doesn't know when Diddy might jump out of his air vent or bust down his front door. But you sitting there turning on your camera and you got a pow in your lap. Men are scared of other men. I don't care what they tell you. If men weren't afraid of other men, then R. Kelly, Diddy, and Trump would have been got a long time ago. And it wouldn't be so many men double talking when it comes to men committing crimes against women, period. Now, all of these adults, because I'm circling it around back to the children, all of these adults, every last one of them, including the one no longer here, failed these children. I'm gonna take a page out of Miss Felicia's book. Children are meant to be protected. Diddy failed them. I'll be sure failed his one. These parents appear, in my opinion, to have been blinded by physical glitter, fast life, and drugs. All of them. Every single last one of them. Looking back in retrospect, Quincy was a fatherless child. So when you read that post, Diva, about he wasn't there and Diddy raised me, yada yada. No. Diddy didn't raise you. Thankfully, he was used as a tool for you to get the best education you possibly could. You lived in the best house, you had the best clothes, you wanted for nothing. But as the grown man Quincy is today, I would not accept him putting on a pedestal a man who has verbally, emotionally, and physically abused his mother, his grandmother, and left behind his other siblings. Despite the terror that he inflicted upon his mother, is no way that we're going to call this a loving father and say, in spite of that, you're still great. No way. The violence this man has spearheaded and the bad karma that he has allowed to succumb his family, the family home, the brothers and sisters, is lies. And I think Quincy should turn to God for guidance and discernment. Ask the Most High to order your steps and guide you where he wants you to go and fulfill the destiny that he has in mind for you. Diddy is not your father figure anymore. He was your father figure only when you weren't able to make a better choice. This man molded you before you had the information and the education to see things for what they are. Right is right, wrong is wrong. Diddy is not your father. Al B is not your father. Disconnect and go talk to God.
All I can say is, damn. I'm just playing.
Okay. Mic drop. Mic drop.
Yeah, you know what though? It ain't it easy though to say disconnect.
Well, it's not easy. I've done it. I don't speak to my own father. When a parent has dishonored you and put you in harm's way, it can be hard for some people who lack the substance needed necessary to say, you know what, I deserve better. I put me first. I deserve everything good in this world. You'll never get everything good in this world following behind a man that is doing everything bad. How can you?
What you have to understand though, E, and to everyone, does everybody here know everything their parents did when they was growing up?
I know enough.
But
Yeah, I
everybody
speak for me.
everybody does not. And you don't know what that mother said or did not say, what was hidden, what was not hidden, when they was around or not around. All I could say is that it's not that easy. And I will say this also, that we don't know what the kids did or did not see. Listen, girl, boy, this is my channel and I'm going to talk. She had her point and I have mine. And if you don't like it, you should not come over here. Don't come back. Bye. I'm always going to talk after other people talk. So, you know, a lot of parents, they try to hide truths from their kid. And maybe their kids have some speculations about what's going on or what's not going on. And all I could say is I do pray for him, because he's in a very rough situation where his biological dad is now also playing games with him online, so to speak. Because if you really want to get in touch with your son, you could have just did it behind the scenes, Instagram message, because I message people all the time through their Instagram message, right? Or you could, if it tells that it was still kind of a disconnect because you don't have his phone number where you couldn't just text him or call him. I feel for Quincy. I feel for Justin. I feel for the twins. I feel for baby Love. I feel for the kids. And one thing Gene Dill did say, he said, I knew those kids when they was in diapers. I played ball with them. He said, so I'm always going to call them the kids. My dad is in his late 80s and he calls us his kids, my girls, where they at? This is a very, it's a situation where it's complicated. People process things differently. I know people that end up, you know, alcohol, drugs, all kind of stuff because they can't process things that happen in their childhood. And all I could say is that I'm praying for all these kids, even Daphne Joy and her son. There are a lot of people that they make wrong decisions, and sometimes they make bad decision at the bad decision at the bad decision at the bad decision. And we live in a world with this social media where everybody is over, you know, it's like your body sells. So everybody wants to go out and get the BBLs. They want to go out and get these boobs, and they want to become Instagram models and Instagram famous and all this other stuff. And then it trickles all into some other things. First, they're Instagram model, and then all of these people are in their DMs. Next thing you know, maybe they doing OnlyFans. And then that OnlyFans, it levels up and turns into something else. And they're thinking it's so innocent. What is the big deal? Next thing you know, they with Diddy, they with this one, and then they're too far in. And they don't even know how to turn around and bring themselves back. And I allow everybody to have their opinion over here, but it's my show. And when I close it out, I want to close it out with my thoughts and how I feel, that I'm hoping I'm going to connect to somebody, because I know people go through real stuff in real life situations. And I know that for some, it's so easy. They know how to walk away. But I know so many that their soul is in turmoil. They are so broken, so hurt because of what they see, what they saw, and what they've been through in their childhood. And for all of the people out there, I say with Quincy, first of all, that letter he wrote is heart-wrenching. And the fact that now his mother's gone, the man he knew as his father is going through all of this, and that father is connected to his siblings. And as I walk away and run over here, but all this time when everything was good, I was with y'all in Diddy's house, and it's a lot to process. So do I walk away from all my siblings? If to me, and this is just me, if Al B. Sure was going to post a message, I would have said, I'm here for you. I'm here for all your siblings. If y'all need me, the door is open. But that is just me. I want to roll into, I can't even go into this last story because I'm running into overtime here at the 2-hour point. Justin and Christian Combs, you know, they was traumatized by being handcuffed. And they said when they went in the home, one was in the shower. So then that not only did they get, they had to get, one had to get dressed and the other one was half dressed. And if you remember and you saw the video, and if you didn't, you can go Google the video and look. Christian Combs it seemed like he kept pulling up his sweatpants so they wouldn't fall down because he probably had to rush and get dressed or whatever the case may be. I'm sure that was scary and I'm sure it freaked them out. So I want to close out. It's not so much a feel-good story. With this closeout that I'm going to do is, do you remember the guy, we did this story over here, the guy from Boeing, that he was the whistleblower, and then they claimed that he took his own life. Well, his parents spoke out. I just want to close out with that to kind of do a wrap up with that story. So hold on one second and I'll share a screen here. There it is.
Exclusive, we're hearing for the first time from the family of a former Boeing manager who became a whistleblower. John Barnett died by an apparent suicide earlier this month before completing his deposition in a lawsuit against the airline manufacturer. He had accused Boeing of repeatedly ignoring safety issues. CBS's Mark Strassman spoke with his mother and brother.
He thought of himself as trying to do the right thing.
Mm-hmm. Vicky Stokes' son, John Barnett, worked at Boeing for 32 years, the last 7 as a quality manager at the South Carolina factory that builds the 787 Dreamliner.
How did he tell you he was being treated?
He was like embarrassed at meetings. He would be called out.
Not the type who'd back down?
No, sir. In a whistleblower lawsuit, Barnett alleged a litany of safety concerns: stray titanium shavings falling into electrical wiring, defective oxygen tanks, and managers urging him to cut corners. In this 2022 Netflix documentary, Barnett claimed his managers retaliated against him for speaking up.
Boeing quit listening to their employees. So every time I'd raise my hand and say, hey, we got a problem here, they would attack the messenger and ignore the message.
In this hotel parking lot, Barnett was found dead from a gunshot wound in his car on March 9th. While police are still investigating, the coroner says it appears to be a suicide.
Do you blame Boeing?
I think if this hadn't have gone on so long, I'd still have my son. My sons would still have their brother, and we wouldn't be sitting here. So in that respect, I do.
Barnett's death occurred as depositions continue and as Boeing grapples with weeks of headlines about its safety culture, specifically repeated problems with its 737 MAX planes, including a mid-flight blowout of an Alaska Airlines door. Barnett worked on a different plane, but raised similar concerns.
He wasn't trying to hurt Boeing. He was trying to save Boeing. He saw this coming, and he said at some point, this is all going to come down on Boeing.
In the middle of Boeing's reputational crisis, Boeing CEO Dave Calhoun announced he's stepping down. In a statement today, Boeing said, "We're saddened by Mr. Barnett's passing, and our thoughts are with his family and friends." I asked Rodney Barnett about his brother's legacy.
That's all he wanted. That's all he wanted, just the safety of the public.
He thought that was at stake.
That he knew that was at stake, and that's what he was concentrating on.
Barnett's family hopes to carry on his whistleblower lawsuit against Boeing after 7 years of litigation. It's scheduled for trial this September. Nora?
Mark Strassman, thank you very much.
Tonight, the first.
Whew. All right, guys, I just wanted to give that update. I appreciate y'all for being here. Thank you so much. If you didn't hit the like button coming in, you know the routine. Hit the like button going now. I appreciate y'all having this conversation with me. It's a lot to digest. It's a difficult conversation to have. So much goes on. Thank you, Mr. Hobson, for stopping by. Appreciate you. And you have your channel over there, right? Tell the people your channel.
Oh, thank you, Diva. My channel is called The Walter Hobson Show. It's a small platform. I'm still trying to like get out here and promote, but I appreciate the 49 subscribers that I do have. And like I said, it's just a safe space for people to come over and just talk about whatever. And like I said, I'm cool. Thank you so much for allowing me again to come on your platform. I really appreciate you. I love your content, by the way.
Okay, I love you back, and thank you so much for stopping through. Okay, we got In My Opinion that has her channel also. In My Opinion, want to shout it out? I'll throw it in the chat. Both of y'all could throw your channels in the chat. Go ahead. In My Opinion, did you come off of mute, babe?
Yeah, I got In My Opinion on YouTube to help people get their stuff together, and then I got Say What with In My Opinion where we get messy.
Get messy. Oh my God, that's funny. All right, guys, thank you so much. I'll see you next time. Good night and goodbye. In My Opinion, throw it in the chat too, so the people can follow the link and everything. Okay. All right. Thanks, guys. Good night and goodbye, everyone.
Do not cheat a diva. Thank you.